The weather was extremely hot. They also had little chance to go out while it was sunny. 20 blowers, damaged, replace the other. Small USB fan as much as possible, especially the type of wearing on the neck can release both hands. Must buy. Although, the volume of ice is extremely cold, but the tape is not convenient, nor is it convenient to get urgently. Nguyen Ngung chose to buy many medical ice bags, which can quickly cool. There is also a cold sticker. Paddy until now, Nguyen Ngung suddenly thought he had bought any drinks. In the refrigerator, there was only 1 can of milk. A bag of Thao Nguyen powdered milk in Xinjiang. Because of the rich life, Nguyen Ngung put milk tea powder, tea leaves, coffee, juice, cans of fruit meat. Milk tea powder is very cheap, more beneficial than buying milk tea. Parking fruit meat. She did not buy much, she had a lot of fresh fruits anyway. When filling the frozen item, Nguyen Ngung bought 4 creams, a chaisa cream, a mangum tree, a box of Haagen-Dazs, Motai ice cream with a jar of 6 yuan. Although the taste was not rich, but the apocalypse could eat unlimited ice cream, was happy enough. Temporarily, eat aside. Human life, except eating and drinking. Nguyen Ngung once saw the apocalyptic story. Many main characters will choose the sandbox, regardless of whether or not it can be used. At first glance, the effect is not bad. She bought cat sand. One thing that makes Nguyen Ngung sad is that the broth for living. At the time of storing Nguyen Ngung goods, he bought 24 bottles of mineral water. In the refrigerator there were 2 bottles left. That is, 1 day can renovate 26 bottles of water, a total of 14,300 ml. Used to drink is definitely enough. When cooking saves a little water is also okay, but still bathing and washing this and that is not enough. No matter the floods, or icy, extremely hot, are very scarce. Floods do not need to say much. The bacteria will pollute the water source. The apocalypse frozen globally, you have to spend on ice. After melting, it is still polluted water. Extremely hot, people also have dry sun. At present, Nguyen Ngung's space is not large, want to store many people like a dream in the daytime. The best measure is to buy water filter and water storage tools, waiting for the end of the flood to catch rainwater. The price of water filtration is not too expensive, can buy a lot. This thing in the end of the world is definitely more expensive than gold, buying as much as possible. It is also necessary to buy a water purifier, to consider the electric machine that will suffer a great loss in the apocalypse. At least buy 20, then buy the original filter element. Luckily, the price of water tanks is not expensive. Nguyen Ngung compared several sides, biting his teeth to put a tower of 100 tons, 220-ton capacity. After finishing paying, Nguyen Ngung stopped blood, but this was extremely pragmatic, waiting for the goods to be able to pour water in without filtering. Only that is not enough. Nguyen Ngung bought many folding water tanks, waiting for a large space to open the water in the future. Nguyen Ngung discovered another good thing in the shop selling N-Tower Wish. The machine is planted indoors without land. The price is about 5,000. Self, light, sunlight simulation, and water circulating water system. Very heartbreaking. Although she had fresh vegetables, Nguyen Ngung was confused for a long time. Finally, he was still biting his teeth. Compared to the anti-cold shirt of 4,000, this is not too expensive. Moreover, the future has a great effect. If not poor and limited space, Nguyen Ngung will definitely buy 10,000 units. It should be known that before the end of the flood, the sun floods will explode. Until then, the global power system is destroyed. The electrical equipment is also destroyed. While waiting for the car, Nguyen Ngung took advantage of the first paragraph. According to the described content, when the sun exploded, the majority of people were not prepared. The probability of phone failure was 100%. The household appliances were operating with 100% damage probability. Even large and small factories across the country, the whole world also stopped operating. The electronic device in the car is broken. The car does not run on the road too, because the car is all the electricity, will also be in distress. Until, then want to change components difficult as in heaven. This super explosive makes human science and technology regret over 100 years. Shortly after that, the end of the flood came. It was difficult for humans to keep the basic survival, but not to say about developing science and technology. Only the country still has a bit of effort to focus on the technique of cultivating no soil after the end of the flood, arduously preserving rays for mankind. The electrical appliances placed in Nguyen Ngung's space are different. The device will not be damaged. Unfortunately, the space area is only 100 square meters, useful for individuals, but for the whole country, with the green planet, it is like salt leaving the sea. What about posting many apocalypse online posts? The highest result is sinking into the bottom of the sea. Netizens scolded idiots. If it is considered to spread rumors for prison, I will life. Nguyen Ngung did not dare to bet. Her parents would go to this world if she had a problem without storing enough materials or dying. What would her parents be like? The evening quietly came. Nguyen Ngung cleans the space of the refrigerator to hack, remove the beef and white cabbage after finishing the rich dinner. In the evening, Nguyen Ngung continued to add his shopping list, except for the amount of supplies purchased. Nguyen Ngung also bought medications and medical tools in different shops, because except for colds, antipyretic drugs, vitamins can be renewed. Other things she had to buy a lot. Also need to buy masks, ventilators, protection items, disinfectants. Old parents, chronic medications such as heart disease, high blood pressure cannot be forgotten. Nguyen Ngung also wants to buy vaccines, tetanus, rabies disease, quick infection, liver disease. Unfortunately, she can buy. In the apocalypse, the level of healing is low, the vaccine is difficult to store, can only be encountered, not praying. Like a person with diabetes, he could only watch insulin in the house were damaged, eventually being swallowed by illness. Until 12 o'clock, Nguyen Ngung finished paying the last item. She looked at the bank account balance, really wanted to crouch. The balance of 560,000. Except leaving the payment to repair the final phase, the account is only 150,000. The only thing that makes Nguyen Ngung celebrate is that the refrigerator hacked on time and contained a tight, warm image of people. It's late, Nguyen Ngung decided to read the original novel at a time for easy sleep. Speaking of this story is very interesting, such as why the owner has a cache of 560,000. It describes a meticulous length. Nguyen Ngung Shuyen entered harem. But the harem tag is not enough to summarize the quintessence of this story. Anyway, the male channel has many harem sets that the male lead is hard working. They either rely on the opposite heir or rely on tough beliefs, cunning personality, super large hacks. In short, there is a career to do. This book is called I Am in the End of the World, based on the children and grandchildren to save the whole family. The male lead of the novel is that Department of Dufeng has the ability to copy items. The method of increasing the power is to establish a clan, saying more clearly that he finds many wives, causing more pregnant women to increase their ability. Every time there is another child, so Din Feng will increase his strength. From the beginning of the book to the end of the book, he is aimed at the abdomen of women. This type of golden finger is probably quite suitable for the thinking of some men, very popular in the web stories of the male sect. Nguyen Ngung used to read Tu Tien, The Apocalypse. The urban area all use this plot. Very popular. She did not expect to penetrate the story like that. In the story, the owner also named Nguyen Ngung, Department of Din Feng pursued her for more than half a year. The owner chose to be his girlfriend with the company. Department of Din Feng was angry to find theoretical owner being prevented by his rich son and his face. So the Department of Din Feng hated both of them, feeling that the owner was rich, shameless, and wandering. Rich boys are arrogant, relying on money to despise the poor. Nguyen. Ngung felt that the hatred was as sympathetic, but the woman's enemy was a bit strange. First, the owner has never agreed to know him, but he kept tough as a simp. What was the couple? He was too angry at home. Secondly, the Department of Din Fong is set normally. The appearance is not good. Looking, there is no money, not good at school. The school is not famous. The company is. The more there is no sign of his own value, he is scolded by the head. The mind was not smart. The salary was not high and spent thousands of yuan rent rooms in the same residential area with the owner because he wanted to be near the beauty. Obviously, Din Fong Fong chose to do those things, but pouring all the money to spend money on the head of the owner, feeling that the owner harmed him more and more poor. Comparing, he is handsome, spacious, graduated with a famous school. The company is also his family opened. If anyone chooses will not choose the male lead. Although after resurrection, the Department of Din Fong rely on women's deception, only watching the uterus of women, great tricks in his throw was to take a bag of noodles and swaying in front of women who are about to starve. The person like that the author dared to describe. So Din Fong was a noble, cold, assertive punishment. In fact, a bad man pointed out 5 fingers with girls and felt that he was very good. If not at the end of the world, there is no other way. Who wants to follow him? Imagine a man with 10 big belly women turned around, 8 kids followed behind. Is this image worthy of going to the legal television channel? And the owner appeared not much in the novel, not described the family. Context, only knew she was the dream goddess of the male lead. The former owner made his girlfriend warm less than 2 months. Before the male lead was revived, she used to, because of hunger, wanted to go to the 18th floor to ask for help. As a result, he not only refused to help, the 2 of them were resolved by the building boss. What kind of person is the original? In the story of the keyword for her is the greed of the most mainly choosing a warm boy as a boyfriend, harming the male lead costs money, and even wasting his money. For this, Nguyen Ngung just wanted to say one sentence. The senior of the year, more than 500,000 in the account, is the rich boyfriend given to, although it is ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend not only acted spacious, also a pure brother, not knowing that because the author of the male story, Thich Trin Tiet, the handsome man who has not touched his original finger twice, the 2 broke up. Holding money to tired hands, Nguyen Ngung should remind an ex-boyfriend a sentence. But the warm boy is the author's top-shaped tool. She is best not to get involved. In the middle of the warm story, he also burdened the effect of the end. His father's future is even one of the leaders of the base. Wait until the base map. Hi-hi. Nguyen Ngung now accepts survival is still assigned by the system to a mission, robbing the heir of the male lead. This task is not urgent. Nguyen Ngung holds the script, decides to store supplies to ensure survival first. If there is any place, she will quietly go to her hand. On the second day, the construction team came early in the morning. Nguyen Ngung really wanted to store goods, but she could not leave this place. The door and the anti-theft window, to relate to the probability of survival of her early stage, definitely had to look closely, but can buy online. Yesterday ordered mostly accidents, not going to the essential daily item. The first is toilet utensils, odorless shower gel, odorless shampoo, odorless laundry detergent, toothbrush and odorless toothpaste. Most importantly, toilet paper, sanitary pads. These 2 are indispensable. Nguyen Ngung is currently 24 years old. If the end of the world cannot restore production capacity, she will have to use sanitary pads for many years. These things bought online once. Very noticeable. Nguyen Ngung bought on a few platforms. She was about to go to Cholon, exaggerated. I also have insecticides, solutions to avoid mosquitoes, perfume less itching. She buys a lot of insecticides. In the apocalypse environment, if there is no insecticide that is equivalent to living in the forest. Next is the pot of fragile pan, glass and porcelain. can buy stainless steel bowl. 1. Time cup bowl. In living indispensable living knives, long rolled fruit knives. Absolutely. Indispensable in living. Unfortunately, used as weapons is too clear. Water Sea is strictly managed. Wanting to get weapons really hard as going to heaven. Nguyen Ngung felt that he could try with a nail gun, but it was best to buy 2 days before the end of the world, avoiding trouble being asked by the state, and some other petty things, such as once-used underwear, lighters, towels, scissors, needles. Nguyen Ngung thought, searched for old rice, bought some bad rice. 1 bag of 25 kilaung, buy 200 bags. A total of 500 kilograms. This bunch can be used in front of outsiders, later establishing large and small bases. Food like old rice, potatoes are passports. A small bag, enough for you to get a green light in the base. The price is very cheap. 1/2 kilogram of rice is just a bad. After buying these things, Nguyen Ngung cried and looked at the account balance. This is also in the situation that has used buy. Hoa Bai, or full name is Kien Hoa Bai, is a type of credit card used before payment, but stored so many things it feels achievement. Nguyen Ngung estimated that about 2 days he would receive the goods to tired hands. There is another essential item to buy, which is the fire that many people will take lightly. After stopping to provide natural gas, all families can only use fire to cook rice. Can imagine its danger in the apartment like this. So the absolute fire extinguisher is essential. Nguyen Ngung did not want himself to calculate the result of being cancelled because of this problem. After finishing this item, Nguyen Ngung started to frown and need to buy anything else. In fact, Nguyen Ngung also wants to buy lifeboats. Is a small, round, can be used in the tsunami. But some platforms like Taobao do not sell this type, even selling. The price is towering. The male lead department of Din Fong made a lifeboat of 4 people sitting and bought a copper from the Science and Technology Exhibition, or ROB. There is no trouble. 1 day before. Nguyen Ngung blinked, feeling this way. Until then the flood came. Out of a bit dangerous. Must definitely plan fully. Nguyen Ngung was planning to continue to see what was needed to buy storage. The mobile browser suddenly sent a news, the title of the super explosive Sun X 6.3. Nguyen Ngung quickly clicked to see. The news was very simple, saying that the sun had just exploded X, causing some radio to be interrupted. This was the 23rd X-level explosion in this explosive sun cycle, the number of times higher than before. Considering the present is a vivid sun cycle, experts say, no need to worry. The bottom is also universal science, usually exploded to level BCM, X. September 1st, 1859. Once exploded in the Carrington event, forming the European and North American electricity system, lost signals, producing severe weather, causing people near the equator to see aurora. The super explosive sun has made a large scale power outage, onshore satellite, even more than 40 satellites were broken. But experts continue to universal science, saying that people do not need to worry. This time, the sun booming will not be too harmful to human society. If anyone loves aurora, it will be welcoming a solemn clear party. Absolutely do not ignore it. Nguyen Ngung thought. A few days later, the party was even more solemn. Humans will witness the red light covering the sky. Under the light like a virtual dream. The blue planet will welcome a new batch of elimination. Very solemn. Nguyen Ngung turned off the web. She knew what she should buy. Tin foil. Simple, but useful. Waiting for the sun to explode, Nguyen Ngung's space was only 200 square meters. Certainly did not remove electronic products, then cut off the power, can also use tin paper, slightly covered, as if treating dead horses like a living horse, more or less worked, especially electronic products like mobile phones. Whether you leave the battery to 0%, who can guarantee hundreds of percent safe? Rest assured. Anyway, Nguyen Ngung Din kept films, cinema, novels, and there were maps. These things need electronic products. It was not until 10 o'clock in the evening that the new apartment renovated, the new apartment ended. Except for the brand new anti-theft doors. Nguyen Ngung also installed 3 more anti-theft doors. In the room, a soundproof layer. Although at first glance, wait until the generator is turned on, you can hide your eyes and ears.